How you doing? This is Wild World with the Advanced Strumming. What I've done is kind of taken some of the little piano parts that they had and some of the other little guitar fills and things, and I made a composite and I put a bunch of things together. So you definitely don't want to try this one unless you're really comfortable with your chord switching, but you're not really comfortable with playing chords and then playing a line together. That would be a good place for this one. Or if you're not really familiar with the percussive sound and getting that in there while you're playing. So for instance, that little, sometimes it's hard to get that in there. So if you're at that place where those things are a little tricky, but you know, chord switching and strumming is okay, this is for you. This is a good place to get into the Wild World Advanced Strumming. So A minor, I'll go through the chord shapes quickly. D over F sharp, G, C, F over C, it's a slash chord, it's an F chord with C in the bass, D minor, E, and then the chorus there's basically the same chords, just kind of rearranged a little bit. Okay, so we get into it. What I do in the first one is a bit of a staccato muted one, like that, and you'll see me accenting 2 and 4. It's kind of how I like to play, gives you that backbeat feeling. Now right there you'll see what I do is put my little finger here into a mute, and I also collapse down here, and it's a real clean mute. If you don't like doing that, you can still collapse here, and it sounds fine. But one thing that you got to remember is release the pressure of your chord, so don't come off the strings, but don't squeeze, and that'll make that kind of a sound. So if you do that, you also collapse down here. There you go, and that makes your little percussive sound. So what I've got now is this. So you'll see I'm doing place it as you need it on the D over F sharp chord. I hit the F sharp first, and now I'm going to do the same idea with the G to the C. So the rhythm for the first 3 measures is pretty much the same. Now, F over C to D minor. Now check the E out here. This is the fun part here. So I kind of put that in there. I don't think that's in the song, but I like to do that. It kind of, baby I'm leaving. I kind of introduce that little thing there with the guitar part. It just makes it more interesting. So the second ending went E, E, G, and that's a measure of 2/4, just so you know. It's just real quick in there, and then it goes back to 4/4. And now we're going to do the descending line, and this sets up the chorus. And I'm going to pick down, up on the 4th string, 3rd string, and I'm going to descend from F to E to D. So in the chorus now, I've got 8th notes and then an 8th note to a 16th note, 2 16ths, beats 1 and 2. Then the little percussive thing that we do, and then 4 16th notes, whereas in the verse, the rhythm was opposite. I had 16th notes on beat 2, and then an 8th and 2 16ths on beat 4. So I don't know, I just felt like that was right to do that. And sometimes music does that. They'll flip the rhythm back and forth between the verses and the chorus. So that's why I did it. Here's the chorus. And that's the F over C chord. Now check it out. It's just a C scale, descending. And those are pretty verbatim from the tune. That's kind of what they do that. Now I do a palm mute on this one, and that would be measure 14. Sounds fine too. For some reason I like the palm mute that one, it just sounds kind of cool there. Measure 15. And that kind of finishes the chorus there. So we've gone through all the parts. I can do them a little bit slower, but the descending C scale here, this would be measure 12. It's just C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. And I put the picking in there. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down. The thing to remember is I put accent markings in here. If you just go, it doesn't really have any spirit to it, but if you went, I can kind of feel where the pulse of the music is still. And that's something that, you know, beginner and intermediate players aren't used to, people that don't have gigs. If you play a lot of gigs and, you know, you're trying to make people tap their feet and you're the only guy playing with an acoustic guitar, you're going to have to give them some kind of a 2 and 4. And that's where that comes from. So even when you go into playing your melodies and things, you want to introduce that backbeat, you know. You can feel... Sorry about that then. Like here. See the dynamics on that one? It's hard to talk and play at the same time. I'm not trying to overdo it, but just enough to kind of keep the groove going. Okay, so that's kind of how it goes. If you've never heard the tune, you know, now that I lost everything with you, say you want to start something new. It's breaking my heart you're leaving. Baby, I'm grieving. If you want to leave, take good care. I hope you make a lot of nice friends out there. Just remember there's a lot of bad and beware. Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile. Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. Always remember you, girl, like a child. And it goes on from there. So this is the Wild World Advanced Strumming. I hope that was entertaining, to say the least. But if you're, like I said, if you're strumming through some chords and you really say, man, I want to add some fills in and to be able to do some different things with the percussive sounds, this is a really good one to start with, because it's got some really nice chord shapes in it and it gets you around. Doesn't get out of first position, but it's still a really, really fun tune to play. So, all right, enjoy.